everyone! Well, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a weekly update, so we thought we'd touch base. After Mother's Day, my parents headed home to Colorado, and Kendrick and I stayed in Missouri to visit with his parents for a little while. Kendrick's mom, Susie, took us to a nearby waterfall that was really pretty. Also, she introduced me to a Missouri delicacy, fried morel mushrooms.
Okay. I mean, it tastes like a fried anything.
My dad and I managed to sneak away for a quick round of golf, but luckily there's no footage of me hacking away at the ball. After a few hectic months with little to no exercise, Mandy and I headed to my old high school track to see if we remembered how to run.
It was not easy. And after 5 days in Oric, it was time to get back to work. So we hopped on a plane and headed to the Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, Arizona.
The Overland Expos are always a great time. We get to represent New Camp, share our experiences living in their products, and also just talk to people about boondocking off the beaten path all day.
During my lunch breaks, I made the rounds to see what companies were there showing off their awesome products. I decided to put together a video about two of the less glamorous aspects of life on the road: going to the bathroom and showering. It was the last video I posted on our channel if you want to check it out.
As fun as the Overland Expos are, they're equally exhausting. After standing in the booth for 3 straight days talking about New Camp products, it was time to fly back to Ohio, where we left the truck and Rocky. But first, we got a little taste of winter while getting on the airplane.
So we arrived in Sugar Creek, and the next day was a huge moment for us. As some of you may have been guessing by where we're sitting, after 2 years and 1 month of roaming North America in Rocky, we were finally moving into a Tab 400. So everyone, meet Little Bear and Blanca.
When we toured the New Camp factory a few weeks ago with Mandy's parents, we got a glimpse of our camper being assembled, and we got to chat with a few of the amazing employees who put their hearts into every camper they make.
It was exciting to see it for the first time, as some of the folks from the front office joined us in admiring our new camper and its custom graphics.
I have to admit, Mandy did a pretty good job customizing those graphics.
But it didn't take long for reality to set in. We had to stop admiring Little Bear and start moving into him. We only had 1 day to move in before we had to hit the road and start heading to the Grand Tetons.
Oh dear. We ended up staying up until about 2 a.m., but to our surprise, we managed to get everything moved in.
Well, today's the day. We're at the New Camp factory and we just spent all night moving into our new home. Much like our transition from Phoenix to Rocky, we spent the night in Little Bear with Rocky less than 20 feet away. Eventually, it was time to say a bittersweet goodbye to Rocky and hit the road. Stay tuned for some exciting news on Rocky's next adventure in the weeks to come.
After saying our goodbyes, it was finally time to hit the road. So we drove.
And drove.
And drove some more, until we eventually covered 1,800 miles and arrived at Grand Teton National Park.
And finally, after settling into our campsite, I got my chef over here to fire up the stove and cook us our first dinner in our new home.
We've pretty much been bouncing back and forth between jobs and staying in hotels since we returned from Mexico. So it was great to finally get back home and start cooking for ourselves again. First dinner in the new camper.
Cheers!
Yay!
We'll be teaching photography workshops in the Tetons for the next 2 weeks, so don't be surprised if we don't have a weekly update next week, because that's a lot to do. But after our workshops are over, we'll definitely put together a highlight video of our time in the Tetons. It's amazing here. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Mandy Lee Photo so you don't miss a beat. Well, here's to another week on the road. Love and light. Morel?
It's like Morel.
Morel? Okay.
M-U-H.
Morel.
Morel.
Morel. Okay.